Hi everyone, today I am super excited to share with you my Aunt Donna's easy cheesecake recipe. It uses sweetened condensed milk. I never do a water bath or anything with it, and I never get a crack, so it's definitely my favorite like no fail cheesecake recipe. First we're going to make the crust. You can use just a cup and a half of graham cracker crumbs. I usually just use a sleeve of graham crackers and process them down to crumbs. But if you buy the box of already made crumbs, just use, I don't know, anywhere between a cup and a half would be good, depending on how much crust you like. All right. We'll put our graham cracker crumbs in a 9-inch springform pan. Got 6 tablespoons of melted butter here. Get these mixed together. And then press into a crust. All right, then we'll go ahead and bake this off for 10 minutes. You want to have all your other ingredients coming to room temperature while you're doing this. If anything, these have already been out for almost an hour. Getting a smooth cheesecake is a lot easier if everything is really softened and at room temperature. So we'll bake this off for 10 minutes and I'll see you then. Time to work on our filling. I've got 24 ounces of softened cream cheese here. You want to beat it until it's really smooth. This is your chance to get your cream cheese lump free. All right, this seems like kind of a no-brainer step, but this is really one of the most important steps of the whole thing. If you don't get it completely lump free now, you're going to have a really hard time getting it lump free later. Once you start adding the liquids, the lumps aren't going to come out. So you want to really make sure you scrape the sides and beat it good now, because again, this is your chance to get it really smooth and creamy. So I'm going to go ahead and beat it a little bit more just to make sure, even though it looks pretty smooth, and then we'll move on. Okay, now we're going to add a can of sweetened condensed milk. I like to start with just a little bit of it, get it whipped in good, and then add the rest. Just again to make sure everything stays creamy and good. All right, go ahead and add the rest. All right, and then I'll go ahead and add about 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And a 1/4 teaspoon, today I'm using almond extract, sometimes I use lemon just to add a little bit of complexity of flavor. We'll get this mixed in. All right, now it's time to add the eggs. We're gonna use 4 eggs today. You add them one at a time. Once you start adding the eggs, you don't wanna whip too much air in. So go ahead and make sure it's really well mixed before you add the eggs, and then you're gonna add an egg. Mix until it's just combined, and then continue on until you have all 4 of them added. If you whip too much air in at this point, you're going to get bubbles and inconsistencies in your cheesecake. So it's important to get it really well mixed before you add them, and then just mix as much or as little as is needed once the eggs get added. All right, we've got our crust here. We're just going to pour the cheesecake batter over it. All right, then we'll give it a couple good whaps on the countertop to get all the extra air bubbles out. Now we're just going to bake it until it's set at 300 degrees. It'll take about an hour. All right, here it is, fresh from the oven. One of the main reasons why a cheesecake cracks is because it either bakes too quickly or cools too quickly. So what I usually do is once the timer goes off and I can tell that the cheesecake is mostly set, I go ahead and open the oven, turn it off, open it, but let it stay in there for another 10 or 15 minutes to let it start cooling a little bit more slowly. It gets some of that ambient heat still. Now that it's out of the oven, you let it cool at room temperature for an hour or two until it gets close to room temperature, and then you're going to want to chill it for a couple hours. Ideally, you can make it the night ahead so it's plenty chilled. And then this is perfect topped with some ganache or cherry pie filling, fresh berries. I might do a blackberry sauce today because we've got blackberries on the vine. So that'd be an easy thing to do. As it cools, it will shrink a little bit and pull away from the sides a little bit. So it'll be kind of easier to unmold at that point, and ready to go. So I hope you enjoy this cheesecake. It's really easy, and it's definitely my go-to foolproof standard cheesecake recipe. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.